I'm trying to tell people, bro. I gotta stop people in traffic now. Now it has to happen.
Yeah.
Back to Viral Alex.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Hi, my name's Alex, and I've been telling you guys over and over again that I provide the best research in cryptocurrency. It's so good, I had to stop traffic. And I'm not trying to look because it's kind of embarrassing, but there's a lot of cars behind me, and if you don't watch this video, there's gonna be a problem. They're just passing me up right now. They're passing up the opportunity, but crypto equals financial independence. And you need to pay attention because sooner or later you're gonna get left behind. And look, there's cars and they're mad. They're upset, but it's okay because crypto equals financial independence. Catching my drift? Yo, relax, okay? Crypto equals cash. Cash equals crypto, crypto equals cash. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video. And of course, we're continuing the series that we've been talking about for the past week or so. I'm gonna go over some of the coins we already talked about. And of course, we're diving deep, so deep into the Cardano ecosystem, and we're still on the decentralized exchange part, okay? We've talked about other decentralized exchange coins, and there's a whole bunch of them. There's actually a lot of them. So I have to do about 4 per video. And again, we're continuing the series. We're gonna knock out pretty much the whole Cardano ecosystem before Cardano launches on September 12th, okay? And if you didn't know, and if you've been living under a rock, guys, Cardano is coming out with smart contract capabilities. This is huge. And the reason why it's huge is because this is the first decentralized solution. Let me say it again. The first decentralized solution that's supposed to be scalable, fast, and cheap. So it could cause some really big problems for Ethereum, and maybe it might, I don't know. Do you guys think it's going to pass ETH? Leave a comment below. Before we jump into the actual video, guys, do us both a favor. Follow me on Instagram. I talk about the background of my life, kind of show you guys what I'm doing other than cryptocurrency. Kind of like the daily habits. I do have an entrepreneurship channel as well, where we're doing podcasts with special guests, really sometimes famous, sometimes successful entrepreneurs. So I'll leave the links in the description below. And of course, if you want to get access to more information like this in a more detailed way, I have a product called fundamentalsecrets.com. That link will also be in the description below. You can get access to blah, blah, blah. All right, let's jump to the actual video. So if you've been watching my channel, you can see that I've been talking about some of these coins, and it's kind of proves my case. Let me just pull open my channel right here. Kind of proves my case. We have been making some serious money when it comes to Cardano. So like right over here, for example, you can see this video was made August 14th, 2021. Let me minimize that. I'm gonna pull up the actual price here for you. And you can see that since that date, August 14th, let me grab the ruler right here. This is 15th. This is the 13th. This is the 14th. We're up about 47% or 42%, however you want to cut it. Now, it's not because, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just showing you guys that there's seriously a thesis playing out right now, which is the Cardano ecosystem and some other layer ones. And pretty much everything is revolving around that. So what I'm doing here is, like I said before, is I'm diving into all of these details. Now, there's one thing I do want to say as well, is that most of this is going to be called fundamental analysis, okay? So what that basically means is that it's not quantitative. There's no way I can like break down a number. Now, I did try to do that. I have my own grading score, and I do grade by each individual segment, but it's a qualitative thing. Fundamental analysis is up to perception. It just happens to be I've been in cryptocurrency for 6 years. So I've been researching thousands of projects. I've done so much research that I can come to maybe a better educated guess than an average person. Now, again, I highly recommend everybody do their own research, and this is where it's going to build real confidence to invest in some of these projects to hold for the long term. Some people always ask me the same question: when do you sell? Oh yeah, the project's up 100%, but when do I sell? It just depends. It depends on where your research brought you to. Is it something you want to hold long term, or do you want to get rid of quickly? And that must be done by yourself. You cannot count on other people to tell you when to buy or sell. I can only share with you my research so that you guys can make your own conclusion. And of course, this is not financial advice. But again, if we come back over here, we've already gone through Polyswap, DeFi, Orion, and YaySwap. Today, we're going to be diving into Sunday, this second row right here: ErgoDex, VY Finance, and Damon Exchange. All right. So as you can see at the top, all these tabs, they're clearly broken down. and I have the major score here. So Sunday swap, I'm giving it a C. Okay. Now this is from our website. It's kind of just a sneak preview. I've never talked about it before. I don't want to get into it just yet because we're still in beta. But you can see that I broke it down for a couple reasons. When it comes to security and liquidity, they don't actually have a product yet, so I can't really grade them. I usually just give it like kind of like a grade based off of what I'm seeing when it comes to the product and when it comes to the explanation of the product. But I'm sure this would change depending on, you know, what exchanges they launch on. Of course, when it comes to the liquidity, as well as how their code looks, our developer is going to look into it. So don't take these grades extremely serious. But there's a couple areas they lack, like tokenomics, and there's a couple areas they're doing really well in. Take the specific individual research serious, is what I'm saying. So let's go into the actual product. I'm going to pull open the white paper here. It's pretty much the same thing. They're all doing the order book model with the implementation of the UTXOs on the Cardano blockchain. If they're doing the same thing and it's very vague, I like to just rate it, you know, the explanation of it. So you can see they get pretty detailed in their explanation of providing liquidity and withdrawing liquidity as well as their swaps, which is a good thing. People that try to hide or projects, and remember, none of these have coins yet. A lot of these don't. I mean, some of them do, but some of these are just still, they haven't even launched yet, right? And the more they hide, you know, the worse off it usually is. And they're pretty transparent. So Sunday swap is, people keep talking about it. Everybody's raving about Sunday swap. And I can see for good reason because they definitely know what they're talking about. If we come over here to the second tab, you can see that they're consistently updating everybody in the community. And in August 21st, which was my birthday, they put out an update. Let's kind of read a little bit of it. This week, the front end team focused primarily on improvements to the robustness of the front end, state management, error handling, timing of transactions, etc., all in preparation for our big public demo on Thursday. So that means this Thursday, we're going to have a demo, another demo, which I'm going to show you one right now after this. After that, they worked on a series of refactorings around component structure and fractional inputs. So here, come on, let me put this headphones on so we can see just a little bit of what they're doing on their front end. Let me pull open the next tab. On crypto venture capital, they actually had a breakdown of Sunday swap, and I'm going to play that here
Sunday
for you
swap.
guys.
Let me kick this off.
Loving it. Hit the like button, everybody, for Sunday swap right now. This is,
Yeah, one of the things that's been absolutely really brilliant is our branding team.
yeah.
So, and shout out to my shirt. So
That's, you know what, the shirt is so on point, especially for this live stream. So I wanted to actually tell you that at the beginning and just got kind of a little sidetracked. So awesome shirt.
Sure. So before I launch into this, I want to explain a little bit about what you're going to see. So some of our competitors have done demos in the past, and that they've been really exciting, and you know, a lot of really cool work there. This is going to be a little bit different. In those demos, they are either pure UI demos or they were wired up to what's called the Plutus application backend, or PAB for short. And that's kind of like a simulated local development environment that IOG has put together. What we're going to be showing today is actually running a private Alonzo testnet. So it's the same binaries or files, programs that will be running on the stake pool operator nodes when we hit the hard fork. And so this has...
So that gives me a lot of confidence. The fact that they, you know, they're pretty much done. It sounds like to me. I mean, I don't know if that's what he's just saying, but it seems like it's going to be the same code that they're running on the actual real nodes when they... So they're waiting for Alonzo, is what I'm saying.
A lot more of the kind of real world considerations. Like, for example, the simulation environment doesn't check your transaction sizes. Whereas this, if your transaction size is too big, then it gets rejected. And there's going to be some things in this UI that aren't wired up to real data yet, and some things that are. And so we tried to make that really clear because we don't want to kind of give the impression that, you know, we don't want to lie to you. So I'm going to click continue. This is our current version of the homepage. This is one of those things that's not wired up to real data. And if I go over here, this is a thing that is wired up to real data. So this is the kind of sample pools that we created in advance for this demo. And these are funds that are locked in on the blockchain, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have a raspberry strawberry pool, we have a fudge and sprinkles pool, and we have a chocolate and vanilla pool. So what I'm going to do today is let's just create a new pool. So I'm going to create a pool. I'm going to select some CCV tokens and some DAN tokens. And we're just going to deposit, you know, all of our liquidity into that. And so if you're not familiar with what this is doing, this is kind of following in the footsteps of something like Uniswap or SushiSwap or PancakeSwap, and we create a pair of tokens. And what this allows people to do is leverage the fact that we have both of them to swap one for the other, right? So somebody can come along and deposit, which is what you'll be doing in a second, deposit CCV tokens and withdraw DAN tokens, or vice versa. Somebody could deposit DAN tokens and withdraw CCV tokens. And we use a pricing function to kind of track the ratio between them and make sure that it kind of behaves like a market. So I'm going to go ahead and add liquidity.
Can we just talk? I mean, can we just talk about that for a second? Everyone,
Yeah, sure.
look at that. That is so sick to me. I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't think I'm the only one. Just been waiting just forever to get like this type of functionality that
It's true. It's hard to make your own pool. This is actually really clean. I like the way they're doing it. Simple, straightforward, and this is like typically the signs of a good front end product is easy user functionality. So I agree with him. This is interesting. This is very interesting.
we've been waiting for, with the advent of smart contracts coming, and like it's literally on the screen right now, and it looks so cool. It
Yeah,
makes me
and so
excited.
so what just happened is we built the transaction that kind of spent those funds, that pair of tokens, into kind of a locked smart contract, and it's now locked by a smart contract that will only allow exchanges at kind of the set ratio. So now why don't I hand it off to you, and we've set up a wallet on your end to
Okay,
execute the first swap.
let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Oh, that's a bit bright though. Like, why don't you switch to dark mode?
Switch to dark mode, huh? Everybody want to see
Yeah.
dark
He's trying to flex the dark mode. Hey, leave a comment below if all you use is dark mode, because that's all I use.
mode? Boom.
Clean.
Awesome.
I really like the dark mode. It's really nice.
We like it too.
Cool. So here we
Cool.
are.
So why don't you go ahead and head over to the swap page?
Okay. Man.
So this is the swap page, and we've kind of pre-configured you with a wallet that is holding. Now, we're not integrating with any of the kind of wallets right now. We're still waiting for kind of the D-app bridge to be ready, kind of like MetaMask or something like that. We anticipate that there will be a couple of wallets that we can integrate with, maybe Yoroi, Nami, Giro wallet, perhaps. We haven't finalized which ones we're going to be able to integrate with on launch, but for the purposes of the demo, we've created kind of our own, dummy wallet that hard codes in some things, and it's not a great UX, but it still allows you to access those funds and sign those transactions like you would need to do. So we've set you up with some ADA. So if you click on select, you can see what your balance is. And so we gave you some CCV tokens because you said you wanted to get some DAN tokens.
I need some Dan tokens. I'm bullish on Dan.
I'm bullish on Dan too.
Sounded so cheesy. Okay. So CCV. So I can like start kind of swapping however I want to.
Yeah. So
Max.
you'd need to pick a token that you wanted to swap it to. Right now there's only one token, but you could imagine there would be a whole list of them if there were other kind of pairs created.
That's so cool. So 50.
Sure.
Do max. Do 146 Dan coin.
Yeah.
And then swap.
Yeah, go ahead and swap.
So cool.
Cool. So this is building and submitting the transaction to the blockchain.
All right, you guys get the point. Basically the same functionality as everything else. To see if there's anything we're missing here. It goes on the Cardano blockchain, transaction submitted. That's crazy that they have a test net. When it comes to their product, that gives me a lot of confidence because they're actually showcasing it. In a lot of cases, some of these projects that we're going to be talking about are not showcasing anything. So this is a very, very good thing. Hence why I rated their product C. Now I want to see a little bit more. That's only kind of showing the front end. But I based that basically off their white paper, if that makes sense. If we come over here, you can see that they have a roadmap that they've been basically executing on. And in quarter 3 of 2021, they're going to be publishing the audit results. That's big. If they come out with stuff like that, then I'll probably rate them a little bit higher. Launching on a Cardano blockchain, of course, September 12th, bug bounty program. I love that. Initial stake pool offering, which we're going to talk about, as well as the token distribution. This is like a really good month. This is probably one of the most important months. So I'm bringing it to you like a little bit ahead of time. This is literally what you need. And like I said before, they've been updating pretty frequently when it comes to their actual like technical progress update, which is a very good sign for product, guys. So pay attention. Sunday Swap is here for a reason. Let's jump into the second part, the tokenomics. So this is where they kind of lack, in my personal opinion. They're only giving 55% to the public. I like to see more. Obviously, I say over 50% is usually good. So this is, it's not out of the ordinary, but I like to see 70. And some of the projects we're going to be looking at, I believe, gave way more to the public, which you'll see what I'm saying here. But it's not bad. I mean, again, I would rather see like a 70% or a fair launch or something, but it is what it is. They want to make their money, so I don't hold them to it. So if we dive a little bit into basically how the coin's launching, because we don't even have the coin yet. Basically, they're going to be doing it with kind of like a staking structure. So the reward structure and length, we distribute 1% of our total supply each epoch over a total of 5 epochs over the first 25 days. So basically, they're giving out like the vast majority over the first 25 days. So wait for the launch. I'll let you guys know, of course, on this channel exactly when it's going to launch, and I'll give you a tutorial on how to stake to take part in the epoch. The distribution time frame. As excited as we are to offer ISO, we're even more excited about the Sunday Swap DEX. To avoid forcing people to choose between staking and the ISO or participating in a DEX, we've opted to give the ISO a shorter duration to support the long-term success of the DEX. So ISO, shorter duration, we only get 25 days, but you can still make money if you participate in a decentralized exchange. Stake pools. One thing that hasn't changed since our last update is that we are still planning to have an independent SPOs run our pool to help us achieve our goal of not taking any rewards, including the 340 ADA granted to the SPOs. Multiple pools will be spun up in order to distribute the rewards fairly among the delegators. Last one, wear control. I'm not going to read it, but basically they make it very easy for the smaller man to make money and not have like massive whales come in and just take all the rewards. So that's really good. The tokenomics you see over here, I rated a D. And the reason for that is just simply because, guys, it's only 55% to the public. I like more. And I've seen more, so it's not out of the question. Let's go into the actual team. So if I come over here, pull it up, we have a pretty large team, in my personal opinion. It's not always the best thing. Less is more. Guys, sometimes having a big team is actually a negative. I just want to be very clear with you. And I dove into the team. So we have the co-founder here. He was an investment banking intern. I don't like it, for 5 months with only a bachelor's degree. It's not the best. It doesn't look like he has that much experience, but he could be young and hungry. And you don't need experience all the time to do great things. We have another guy here, another founder. He was a clinical assistant. He looked like he did like for example, as you can see here, Harvard Medical School. He was in the health industry, which has no relevance to the actual, blockchain technology. I don't know why. Maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe this was a hobby for him and he decided to go full into it. Doesn't inspire too much confidence, okay? And as you can see over here, the team is okay. I gave it a B, but I based it mostly off of some of the actual developers. So you can see here, this guy's pretty good. Senior software engineer for 1 year. Basically a lot of engineering experience, and he graduated from New York University as a software engineer, so it's not bad at all. Also, 240 contributions, so pretty active. If we look at the CTO, he basically has a lot of CTO experience, and he actually worked for Salesforce as well, which is big. A founder of some other company. He has a lot of commits as well. Pretty active. 451 contributions in the last year. Commits don't always equal like success. Don't get me wrong. It just shows that they work. And there's other ways to grade it, but for now, this is a good way to look at it. We also have another full stack engineer here, technical consultant. Worked for JStack for 4 years. This is good. This is good. They definitely have the technical side on lockdown. You can definitely tell for their interface and everything. They're pretty good. If we look at the commits, 1,686 commits on the year. This guy's a savage. This guy's next level right here. So team's pretty good. I'll give it a B. So if we come over to the actual liquidity, obviously we talked about it before. There's nearly no way to tell, how liquid they're going to be. I don't know where they're launching. They're doing the ISO. So that one, I just kind of gave it a random grade because there's nothing else you could pretty much do. You can't really do anything. If we come to their marketing, they are by far the best marketed DEX. They have 99.2K followers. And if you look over here, you can see that they're getting a lot of engagement. They're getting a lot of engagement. They had that demo, that public demo with a big time YouTuber. It doesn't mean that they're like the best, but they've clearly gotten the most results when it comes to marketing. So When it comes to competition, they are probably number one, to be honest. And then you can see that their Discord has 31,000 members. They're not playing around. The price of this coin is going to pump when it launches, for sure. So in general, I'll give them approximately a C, but remember, this can change for sure. It's just right now, that's what I'm doing because the liquidity and security. So realistically, if you were to omit these two grades, it'd probably be like a B. It'd probably be like a B. This is how we're going to have to grade it because there's not enough information. This is why I don't like ICOs or IPOs or whatever the case is, because there's no way to tell. All right, let's jump into this other exchange here. They're taking it like kind of like a devil branding and stuff like that. I graded them pretty bad, and you'll see exactly why. We'll dive into it. So if we come over here, basically they're building a decentralized multi-chain exchange with market making, derivatives, algorithmic trading, open access to real-time historical data. So basically, they're trying to become kind of a year in finance with a decentralized exchange. Now, the only thing they're really doing good at, in my personal opinion, is their white paper. The white paper is pretty extensive, deep. They quote a lot. They provide a lot of explanation for sure. This is why I ranked their product a B for this exact reason. They have a front interface of what it looks like. It has no functionality at all. And it's basically the same as Uniswap. So it's not that big of a deal, but they do have it. And I checked their actual commits. They didn't really do anything. They're hiding the code because they're trying to like be first to market or whatever the case is. They're trying to have that strategic advantage. But in general, you could tell that they put more work into this just by their white paper if you guys read their white paper. Now, if we look at the tokenomics right here, platform governance, process, and tokens, we plan to release the platform native tokens that will fulfill two rewards and the LP staking farms, similar to PancakeSwap. Governance token used to vote on the development proposals for the platform. Same thing as pretty much everything else. They don't really have an emission schedule. I looked pretty deep. I couldn't find an emission schedule. So in general, there was kind of like I had to rate it bad because they usually should give this type of research. Most of the platforms give this. For some reason, they do not. So basically, the gist of this project is that they're pretty anonymous, which brings it here. You know, they're scared of, I guess you can say, regulation. So their team is anonymous. I'm going to have to rate it low. That's just the way it is. I don't like anonymous teams, even though some of the projects do really well. I always rate it low, okay? Because it's high risk, high rewards, very high risk. When you don't know who's making the project, they can definitely undercut people. When it comes to their marketing, they're trash. They're very bad, actually. They have no followers anywhere, and it's very hard to find their website. They did a couple rebrands. They like rebranded their name a couple of times and stuff, and you cannot find them anywhere. They have 32 followers on Twitter. Trash. Very bad. I wouldn't touch this product with a 10-foot pole. I'm not buying this product at all. The liquidity is irrelevant. The security is irrelevant because they don't have any type of product. All right, let's go over to Ergo Dex, okay? You guys know I've been talking about Ergo for a while. Let me kind of pull this over here. So if we look at Ergo, and by the way, like Ergo's up big time. Made some money on that one, you know, since we were talking about it, whatever the case is. But you can see that we actually have a cross-chain exchange, AMM and order book, pretty, you know, simple as everything else. Transparent token metrics. Ergo Dex, each actor is incentivized to fulfill his role as best as possible. User benefit from the DEX services, liquidity providers from protocol fees, and the DEX benefits from the transaction fixed fees. So it's pretty similar to anything else we've done. You can see that they're in stage 4, and they're very detailed with their roadmap. This is a green light for me. This is really good. Hence why, if you come over here, I gave them overall B. You guys see that, you know, when it comes to the product, I gave them a B because very transparent on what they're doing. I like the more they give, the better it is. And you can see from their GitHub that they're actively upgrading it with repositories and making sure that things are happening, right? So, and there's 5 people working on it, as you can see here. So definitely active in what they're doing. And they also have this demo here that you can watch. So again, a B. I wish the demo looked a little bit better. If it did, I'd probably grade them more, but hopefully they have some front end built up in the background or something. All right, so let's look at the actual tokenomics. Now, this coin is going to be with actual, you know, Ergo, which is already out. They have an emission schedule. Actually, I'm not going to go into it. I forgot. I'm not going to waste my time, but I actually have over here, if we pull it up, I have a brief explanation of the tokenomics of Ergo. The emission schedule is one of the best I've seen in the project in a long time. It has a fixed supply of 97 million, which is lower than Bitcoin's 21 million. The amount going to developers is not greedy at all and very reasonable. The treasury will only receive 4.43% of the total supply at the end of an 8-year emission schedule. There are 0 ERGs in existence at the launch of mainnet, and there was no ICO or pre-mine. At the end of 8 years, the final supply will be 97 million ERGs. And like we've talked about it before, I made another video about it. Definitely watch the other part of the series because Ergo's weird, man. It's like a different type of protocol. It's like everything all in one. It's like proof of work, proof of stake. It's cross chain. It's everything. So for them, it's not really relative to the actual exchange itself. They just have an exchange using their technology. So it's a little bit different. And you can see why I rate them so high and why I've been raving about it. I've been telling people that it's very low market cap, in comparison to their actual. It's only set when we talked about earlier, it was only 500 million in comparison to their team is world class. Everything they're doing is really good. It's still undervalued in my personal opinion. This is a top 20, top 30 coin in my personal opinion. So let's go to actual team. I'm pull this up here for you guys. So lead developer, we have a lead UI developer, so I'm pretty sure they have something going on there. I kind of just look at their code commits. I mean, Ergo themselves are really good. So I'm actually really excited about Ergo in general. 448 contributions. We have this guy here, 765 contributions. He looks like he's probably the best. And I found one of their LinkedIn's, the product manager for now. He was a JavaScript developer. In general, their team, after doing some research, I had to rate them high just because they have a lot of experience and definitely take what they do very serious in general. They probably wouldn't be with Ergo if they didn't. So let's look at the marketing a little bit. And remember, a lot of this research is probably going to come a little bit from, Ergo itself, being that that's the native token. But they only have 9,000 followers. It could be a little bit better than that, but they're getting some pretty good engagements. Their Telegram was only 2,400. And I was just looking at some of their articles, and they're pretty detailed and extensive. So this is probably like the worst part about them, but they're still pretty good, if that makes sense. They're doing, the bare minimum when it comes to marketing. They're letting their product speak for itself, if that makes sense. All right. And if we talk about the actual liquidity, I've told you guys this before in my last video. They're on pretty good exchanges. And it's a good sweet spot for me because the more they get listed on bigger exchanges like Binance and Coinbase and stuff like that, the bigger they will get. And these are pretty good for now. So it's like a good sweet spot. It's obvious the price has been pumping for a reason. So definitely pay attention to ErgoDex. And I will probably say out of these, it's probably the best in my personal opinion. Sunday Swap is probably the most attainable, but ErgoDex out of the ones we're talking about in this video is definitely the best. Let's jump into the next one, which is VY Finance. I got a score of F. Again, some of these suck. It's just the truth. So I'll explain my reasoning behind that. If we look at the actual product, the white paper is very vague. You guys know I don't like vague. They're pretty much doing everything everybody else is doing. They got an auto harvester, liquidity pools, international market trust. That's pretty much the only thing is that they have some insurance, somebody investing in them. The auto harvester is an automated yield farming tool, liquidity aggregator that helps users engage with yield farming while assisting them in automated management of risk. It's interesting, but it's kind of like the Urine Finance thing. It's not anything new that we haven't seen before. Their white paper, it's explaining things, but it's pretty vague. They're just kind of just showing the physical representation of it. But they're going to have the decentralized exchange. They're going to have the staking or the V5 bar. Yeah, and then they're saying that they're going to have a neural net AI for the auto harvester, which is really interesting. That's machine learning. So pretty interesting stuff there. If we look at the actual tokenomics and we scroll down here at the bottom, they're giving away 85%, and this is where they thrive. This is probably the only thing I like. They're farming, and they're allowing people to farm 85% of the supply, and the team is only keeping 2.5%. So this looks like a very, very fair. It's not exact. Fair launches is 100% to the public, but it's close to a fair launch, which is, like I told you guys, favorable for me. So it's probably the only thing they're doing well on, in my personal opinion. As you can see here, I rated them an A for tokenomics. Let's kind of go back over here. Let's talk about the team. Pull this up here for you guys. So couldn't really find anything on this guy when it comes to research. So let's kind of hear what he has to say. We're not going to watch the full video, but let's just kind of listen to what this guy has to say, because maybe he has something interesting. Maybe he sounds intellectual, whatever the case is, because I couldn't find anything on this guy or any history. So
once you got into the space to Cardano, so why Cardano for this project?
So the guy's asking him basically, why did you get into Cardano for the product? Let's see his answer. And then from there, we can kind of figure it out. This is kind of the CEO.
Oh, that's actually, could I ask, could we discuss what the project is? Because the answer to that is within the structure of the project.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get right into it. So Wi-Fi, tell me, what is Wi-Fi?
So I'm going to talk about it from a high level first. I really began this concept throughout all of university. I was a private tutor. I also continued private tutoring while I was working, just because I enjoyed having some students. And it's also a nice side income. And I realized when I first hit DeFi that there was this massive gap in understanding, right? Between engaging with the platforms that you're approaching, knowing what's happening to your money once you've engaged with those platforms, and then being able to manage your money effectively and safely. Right. They're sort of like the three prongs that I see with the difficulties in approaching DeFi. Now, with respect to the one of the big gaps that I saw was that there's a real lack of education on how these systems work and what these systems mean, right? You can certainly go look through each project. There's certainly a lot of YouTubers like yourself, that are talking about them, but there isn't some sort of centralized mechanism, like a uni course outline that you can go to and you can be like, impermanent risk. How do I calculate that? Yep, here's my folder. Let's open to that, right? There's no sort of centralized repository for that information.
I don't know what he's talking about. There's multiple centralized repositories of this information. It's just true. There is. I own one. I definitely own one that explains all of this, but okay.
So I started with the idea of building a decentralized finance educational repository, essentially, which is this concept of, just a repository, an LMS for it, for people to use and learn. Sure. But then from there, I realized that it's not really, if you just teach people this stuff in the abstract, it's very abstract, right? It's almost so abstract, it's meaningless, right? Yeah. Which is why then that's when I first had the idea, we actually have to merge this into a product. We need to be able to bring something out that we can use as an example to teach people, right? So our initial thought was to build a liquidity aggregator, an auto harvester on Ethereum, right? And then using that auto harvester as a method through which to manage people's funds for them, but then use that as an introduction to DeFi on their behalf, right? And now I'll answer your Cardano question. So we are certainly building that liquidity aggregator. That's one of the core parts of our business. It's where essentially we're taking newcomers into the DeFi space and we're guiding them onto the first steps of engaging with the DeFi platform. And we're going to be doing liquidity farming for them on their behalf. And we're going to be managing that farm for them, managing that impermanent risk. And we're going to be keeping it all in one currency, in this circumstance, ADA. And we're going to be keeping it all in that one currency for them, right? So essentially, and we don't actually manage the strategies. Our neural net manages the strategies, right? So there's an AI. Please.
No. So
this is unproven. Neural nets are common. We're actually making one for our prediction model and fundamental secrets. Neural nets are common. He's trying to say that it's hard. This is a reach, in my personal opinion. From my experience, what he's saying here, it sounds like a reach to me. And it also sounds like he's coming from a place of like, I don't know. He's coming from like, he's just trying to teach people through a product, but you should be coming from a place of like trying to earn the most rewards for your people, right? Like you're in finance or like the strategies that they create, right? And also like, I don't believe in AI enough yet to allow them to just completely take over all strategies. So I don't know, man. This is just, I don't agree with the way he went with it, to be completely honest, but this is opinion based. Again, none of this is quantitative. You can't put a number on it. It's all qualitative and from experience. And, that's just my personal opinion. Let's keep watching.
You have mentioned several things that I definitely want to get into. I don't know if we should jump into it just yet, but what is a liquidity aggregator? What is a neural net? And how is AI involved in bridging the two of those? And what does that mean? So
AI is just a buzzword. There's no such thing as artificial intelligence just yet. I mean, maybe Google, I think, has created something, but we're not going to go into that. It's just a buzzword. I hate when people use it.
We could either jump into that right now or finish with that Cardano question.
Well, I'll finish with the Cardano question.
Okay, great.
So we want to do that sort of educational layer that takes people from allowing us to assist them in managing their funds and then bringing them down to the lower level, which is our decentralized exchange, right? Or our DEX. Right. And we want to create an educational layer that takes people from the top all the way down through to the bottom where they're managing it themselves.
Yeah, now I can't tell you how essential that is. First of all, just no, seriously, from my experience, there's a large amount of people out there that are like, "What is DeFi?" That I get friends calling me, asking me about it. What is DeFi? How are you doing this yield farming? What are you doing? And honestly, I spent hours upon hours. I think I told you this the other day, like trying to figure out how to get the pair of these two, obscure coins to
Mhm,
plant over here and start
mhm,
staking and farming that. And then
mhm,
I've got stuff going on in 10 different projects trying to keep track of
mhm.
it all. But like there's a huge education, and you're right. Like there's nothing explaining what this stuff is. It's you've got to really invest the time to make it happen. It's not
Mhm.
an easy or an intuitive process. So what you're doing in terms of
Absolutely.
education,
But it's
hopefully, is you keep it simple, intuitive, and it helps bridge people into a space because it's incredibly powerful. When I can get
Mhm.
0.02% in my savings account in a traditional finance bank account versus I can jump over here and for a period of time sometimes get 150% APR
Mhm.
or even
Mhm.
more,
Let
as the liquidity
let me
changes,
give you
that
let
goes
me give
down.
you a really good example of what you're saying there. So
Yeah,
part of our auto harvesting, we're building our models, of course, for where we're going to be putting our coins.
right.
And within that, we're building a practice auto harvester in Solidity on our BSC chain.
Okay.
Now, we've been able to build strategies which are 90% stablecoin, 10% Bitcoin, with a return of 94%,
Okay.
like an annual dividend of 94%.
This is clear marketing. It doesn't matter what you've been able to do. It matters how long you can sustain it. Anyone can make large APY in crypto with a couple of yield farming strategies, but how long can you sustain it is the question. They don't have a product. They have no proof. This is just this guy saying this. I hate when people bring numbers out like that without providing proof. Let's see if he provides proof. If he doesn't, he's crossing the line for me, to be honest with you guys, in my personal perspective. Let's see.
That
Now, essentially,
stays? That
yeah,
doesn't
yeah, it's
change
stable.
based
Well, no, no,
upon
no. They all
okay,
change a little. They all
right,
change a little.
right,
Absolutely. But
okay,
right now they're 24%. But the idea being is that you can hold 90% stable coin, which is essentially USD,
hmm
right? With 10% Bitcoin, which I imagine would look like a lot of people's portfolios right now. I've got about 10% of my money in Bitcoin. I got 90% of my money in the bank.
yeah,
That sounds pretty stock standard,
yeah.
but you can actually earn
Whoa. I don't know how standard that is, man. I don't. Whoa.
24% a year on that if you put it through DeFi,
Right, which is phenomenal.
right?
Yeah,
Which is phenomenal. That's a phenomenal rate, right?
best way to de-risk when you go into a bearish correction or whatever. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
great.
So because we want to build that educational layer, right? That's actually, and back to the original point, that's why we went with
Correct.
Cardano,
Okay, let's
right?
talk about that. What is it?
Well, the big focus of Cardano is, and I love what they're doing. Like I love them as a foundation. They are looking at moving cryptocurrency into a state of, into the realm of the
Okay, we're just gonna cut it there. I mean, he crossed a little bit some lines there for me. I don't know. He kind of just took away a little bit of my confidence in the team. But I mean, everyone is entitled to their own perspectives. I just don't like the way he's using these buzzwords, as well as that's a huge claim. Also, he's lumping people into this one category that most people have. 90% are in stablecoins. That's not true at all. You're just kind of talking, in my personal opinion. So I don't like the CEO as much as I should when it comes to a project, but we looked at some of the other team and they're not that bad. This guy was a blockchain consultant for multiple projects. I can't really find anything else. This is the only guy I found, and this was actually the marketing director guy, and he didn't change it. And I don't know. He was a public speaker. He's just like all over the place, for my personal opinion. Social advisor, security officer. I mean, I don't know. And I actually looked into his background and just like, how could you say you're a market? I'm tired of these projects saying they're marketing directors and they can't even market their own personal brand. It pisses me off. It doesn't inspire confidence. Like, if you're going to be a marketing director, like, at least put in some effort. At least let's see some like seriously high quality content. Even if you don't have the followers, go buy followers or something. Give off the perception that you actually know marketing, right? Um, I'm not going to log in to show you guys this stuff, but like, that's just my personal opinion. If you're going to say you're a marketing director, you should do well. Which brings me to my next point. Their marketing is subpar, if not one of the worst. I think the other project, the Damien Exchange, was worse. But if we look at theirs, they only have 2,333 followers. Telegram's pretty trash. Discord's pretty bad. And their YouTube channel has no videos, but for some reason that's on their website. Bad marketing, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, guys, you see the deal. We rated every single project. And just to go to the last one, liquidity. If you guys do want to get involved, which I might not, maybe I'll put in a little bit of money or something just to test it out, because pretty much all Cardano projects are pumping. But in 3 days, 5 hours and 45 minutes, they're going to be launching their tokens August 26, 2021, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you could take advantage of getting some of their tokens. I might get a little bit just to play around with it and just test and see where this stuff goes. But yeah, there you guys have it. I broke down pretty much every single project. Like I said, let me pull this browser up. If I pull this up here, we're going to be diving into the whole entire ecosystem. So definitely follow for more. We're going to dive into every single one. I know a lot of people have been asking me for ADAX. So we're going to dive into that. Of course, all 5 of these, coin link, everything. Once we knock this out, I'm going to do a final video explaining my favorite projects, but it looks like I already kind of know what the favorite ones are. It's obviously Ergo has been top, ADAX, Sunday Swap. We'll see if we can find a couple of more. Polyswap was pretty good too, not that bad. But in general, guys, like, you should be doing your own research. Before I end the video, though, I want to show you guys some of the market conditions and what's happening and kind of my thought process behind what's going on in crypto right now, because it could be very insightful. If I go to CoinGecko, basically the star of the show is Cardano, right? 37% in the last 7 days. And what happens is, once Cardano as a layer 1 starts doing very well, it starts making room for others. And you can see, look, Binance Coin 17%. Let's keep going. Polkadot 11%. Pretty much the only thing that's winning right now are layer 1s most of the time. Terra's just look like its own thing, but Solana's up 23% on the weekly, right? Polygon's up, right? So layer 1s are making room right now. For some reason, people just think that just because Cardano's doing well, it's just going to defeat Ethereum and all the other layer 1s are going to do well. So I'm trying to find another thesis. We got the gaming thesis, of course, that everybody keeps talking about. NFTs are becoming more of a thing. I'm seeing like Louis Vuitton. I have a little collection, but I might start showing you guys what I'm buying when it comes to NFTs. Leave a comment below if you want me to jump into the NFT market. I've been holding off on it because it hasn't been a confirmed trend yet. So I've been trying to focus on DeFi to make some serious money. But if you guys want me to jump into NFTs, I can do the same thing as well. But again, star of the show, Cardano. Let me just pull up this chart here for you guys and show you. Definitely just taking over the game right now. Blue Bass all-time high. Do I expect it to go further? Well, it's unpredictable at this point, but we're in no man's land. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue on up for Cardano's price. And it's funny, we made this video. I called Cardano like at 8 cents. And you guys could go look at it on my channel if you want. I got in and out, but I always had a small bag of Cardano. I called it way over here. So again, guys, like the video if you've made money and I helped you out. Obviously, you guys pulled the trigger and it's you, the ones that made the money. It wasn't me. But if I referred you to Cardano a long time ago, definitely help the channel out. We're trying to go viral. And then there's a couple other charts I want to show you guys. If you look at the top 100 altcoins versus BTC, we're continuing up. Specifically down here again, you guys can go look at my videos. Like, I don't need to. It's all on the internet, open, public, transparent. Right here, I said altcoins were going to do well against Bitcoin. Guess what? Altcoins are doing well at a high percentage. Leave it like a 5%. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's pretty significant. Okay, it's pretty significant. Now, my coaches are in general calling for a downturn in Bitcoin's price. Even if I was wrong, it doesn't matter. Even if our coaches are wrong, it doesn't matter, because the way we have our strategy is very simple. It's very, very simple. If we did go back from here, like, I want you to like look at this chart, right? This is a clear downtrend. We're making the call like around here that we're going to continue to go down, right? So it goes up. We miss out. Okay. We miss out on what? 20% on Bitcoin's price, which, by the way, no one holds Bitcoin. Not a lot of people are holding Bitcoin anyways. They're holding altcoins. ADA is the one that really made money, right? What I want to do, okay, is I want to wait to see if we get over 52,000. This is really where it's at right here. Look at this part right here. This is really where I want to get over. The top of this order block right here. You see it? See the resistance multiple times. We have a lot of activity in this area. If we get over this 52,000, it's okay. I enter back into the market. Bitcoin goes to 100K. We all make a whole bunch of money. Bull run continues. But let's think about it the other way, right? Where we were calling Bitcoin to potentially go down around here, right? My coach was like, I don't know. Bitcoin looks shaky. And he has every right to believe that, because it looks really bad from a technical analysis perspective. Guess what? The downfall was much bigger than what we lost out on. We would have lost 37% versus the reward, which is only 8 to 9 to 10%. So it's just a risk to reward game. And if you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that around here, I wasn't touching my crypto. I was bashing everyone that talked about cryptocurrency this whole entire ride up in a negative way. If anyone called bear run, I was bashing them. Even here, I was like, nope, bull run continue, bull run continue. But now we're just in a different climate. There's a good chance that just a really good chance that the bull run could be over. This could be the top. It's okay. Like, it's okay to accept that. And the risk to reward in this exact situation right here, the risk to reward in this exact situation bothered me. And I did not want to have my whole entire net worth for this potential drop for the next 2-3 years. I'm just playing with my money as smart as I possibly can. That's it. And if we get above 52K in an aggressive, strong way, and it continues higher, and ADA makes more room, it's okay, because I missed out on only 10%. The returns are going to be up 100% plus. So I'm going to make much more money. Ethereum's going to go like $10,000 per coin, $8,000 to $10,000 per coin, and it'll be okay. I missed out a little bit. It's okay to miss out, right? What's not okay is holding through this, in my personal opinion. Holding through this ridiculous market here, right? This is Bitcoin 2017. Who wants to lose, what, like 83%, and then just call it diamond hands? Just call it diamond hand. I'm a diamond hands every. Nobody wants to do that, right? If I go back, to 2017, I'm pretty sure everybody would be really happy if we called the top right here. If the market came back a little bit, we called the top right here, everybody would be ecstatic because they would have saved all their money. They would have bought back in because they would have a better frame of mind. Right here, guys, I hodled a lot. Right there, I was hodling a lot. This was the most painful thing on planet Earth, and I almost sold, right? But what I did is I doubled down and I sold some things in my house, and I sold my laptop, and I bought Bitcoin as much as I possibly can around this point. It ended up playing out. But I would have been a much more stable mind if I had pure USD and I bought into the bear run as aggressively as possible. If I would have sold everything at the top here and bought it here, I'd be much more, I'd be rich. I'd be worth like $50 to $100 million right now. So this time I am not making the same mistake. It's just a risk to reward game. Don't get emotions involved. You guys know the deal. One more last chart before I go. We're looking at ADA in comparison to ETH here, BNB in comparison. We've been talking about this chart as well. I don't know everything. I'm not a super genius, but some things are just very basic. Around here, we were saying, hey, ADA might take off some layer ones in comparison to ETH, BNB, DOT. They're going to take off, and they are. And can they get up here? I don't know. That's a big question that we have to answer, but we have some resistance right here as well. Resistance right here. So if we get above this point, then I would assume that we're probably going to get up to around this range here, and some of the layer ones are going to do very well. They're going to do very well. So yeah, guys, so I gave you a breakdown of everything in the market. I gave you 4 coins. Just to recap, we're going to be going over some more of these decentralized exchange coins. So of course, subscribe to the channel. Guys, I'm trying to give you guys as much high quality research as I possibly can. Like I told you before, for the people that have been following me for a while, I know the quality of videos went down a little bit. And the reason for that is because I was handling a lot of things on the back end when it comes to my business. Now I have officially put people in the position they need to be in to take over some of these roles, and I can get right back to the nitty and gritty research. And of course, if you want to get access to this research before it hits YouTube or anything, go to thefundamentalsecrets.com. We're actually creating a whole entire prediction model. Fundamental analysis, grade score stuff. We're going crazy. This is not just a YouTube channel. I am an entrepreneur, and we're trying to grow the crypto industry, not just make videos about it. I want to grow. There's other things I want to do. There's other passions I want to pursue. So excuse me if these videos come out a little bit slow or whatever the case is. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.
Yo,
got the whiteboard in the trunk.
oh, that's the whiteboard? I'm like, bro, who put this shit? Oh, that's yeah. Is that what we really doing?
Bro, I'm tired of being mediocre, bro. I'm really tired.
This is what it takes to make content, boys and girls.
Hopefully we don't get arrested. And if I do, yeah, I better record that shit. Good thing I'm an entrepreneur. Felonies don't really matter. My goal is to stop as many cars as possible to teach them. This is stupid, but I'm actually smart, bro. I'm just trying to make sure we get more attention. You got to drive more attention around the blockchain industry. People are doing basic. Nerds are not gonna make this thing actually go viral. Yo, Dro, come over here to the parking slot, no, the right-hand side. Take a right, and then take a right, and then before you get on the main road, there's like that little parking spot. We're in there. You have to get other people that are not smart involved in the cryptocurrency community, and this is the way you do it. You get massive amounts of attention, even if it's nerve-wracking or it feels weird. One time, Charles Hoskinson, the owner of ADA, he wanted to fight what's his name, Chico Crypto, and it was a great idea because it would have brought a lot of attention to people that are not in the crypto industry around crypto. So like, that's what I'm like, all my educators, stop just throwing charts up. No one cares. No one cares about charts. Like, you have to do something different. And this is what I want to do. I want to be that different person. I can get down and nitty gritty into the details of a project. And I could also go and make myself viral and not care what people think, because that's the only thing holding us back right now. We got to get into other industries. So calling all the YouTubers, do something different. Stop being weird. Stop being a nerd.
Tell them again.
Stop being nerds. We got it. You get in the gym too, bro. If y'all want to get the celebrity boxing, we could definitely do that if you want.
Just chuck it. Come on, Dr. Core, kid.
Hold on. Wait for the cars to come. Hey, get the drone off. Give me the marker. There's cars right there. So, crypto equal success.
We're in the middle of the street right now. We got the drone going. We got 2 angles. Probably get stopped by police soon.
I provide the best stop your car. I provide the best research in crypto. Yo, can you get the drone off the ground? Hey, if you don't love what you do, then what are you doing? Straight up.
On the other side of the board.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I'm in the middle of the road, and I did this only to prove that I am the best researcher in cryptocurrency. We're out here, and if, oh, there's a cop. Let's go, take out 1 lane, get in 1 lane, hurry up. Hi, my name's Alex. And I've been telling you guys over and over again that I provide the best research in cryptocurrency. It's so good, I had to stop traffic. And I'm not trying to look because it's kind of embarrassing, but there's a lot of cars behind me, and if you don't watch this video, there's gonna be a problem. They're just passing me up right now. They're passing up the opportunity, but crypto equals financial independence. And you need to pay attention, because sooner or later, you're gonna get left behind. And look, there's cars, and they're mad. They're upset, but it's okay, because crypto equals financial independence. Catching my drift? Yo, relax, okay? Crypto equals cash. Cash equals crypto, crypto equals cash.